each and every one. But in this next topic, financing a Tesla might be about to get much better for all of us. And so we'll talk about the reasons why. And the reasons why is because Tesla might have released something in their most recent SEC filing of the 10Q. And there's a sentence in there that might have stuck out. So we're going to talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can get access to the best Tesla buying guide out there with really low interest rates for financing your Tesla, some even as low as 2.99 to 3.7%. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. But let us just jump into this. So shout out to Amy, or at SF Tahoe on Twitter. Is Tesla planning to make its vehicles easier to buy? What are the options Tesla has, you ask? Number one, increase Tesla loan offerings to offset rising interest rates and tightening requirements, and offer more leasing. Tesla indicated in past calls that increasing leasing may be a demand lever if Tesla will pull into the future. But in the most recent actual 10Q, they actually had a line in there that this is a form or filing that you file with the SEC to talk about all the different expenditures and things like money and stuff like that. I'm not actually an expert in that, so correct me if I'm wrong. But here's the line, quote, "We have and will continue to utilize such cash flows to provide financing options for our customers." I mean, this will be really great. We started to see a little trickle of this in the last quarter of last year, where people were actually using Tesla Finance LLC as a company to buy their Teslas. And this would be a great idea because, Tesla financing as a financing arm for leasing could potentially ingest this full $7,500 federal tax credit and pass the savings to customers. We saw this a little bit most recently with the Tesla Model 3 standard range, with the very low payment on this screen right here of like $399 or $259 a month or $299 a month. And what we were noticing is that Tesla was absorbing some of that tax credit in theory and giving a low interest rate on lease, even as low as 1.9%. But unfortunately, Tesla has removed that page. I can't seem to find or at least access it anymore, because there was a nice cool financing calculator, but they've hidden it now because maybe it was too much information that they were showing to too many people. But this is definitely a great idea. If Tesla can come in, if they can come in and subsidize interest rates, interest loans, because price of a vehicle is one thing, right? But if they can offer 2.99, 3.99, 4.99, I think a lot more people will be able to purchase a vehicle, or at least feel comfortable financing and buying a vehicle at such high APR rates. Because at the end of the day, let's all be real here. Most of the people that are buying Teslas are most likely financing. I mean, of course, I do understand there's a big portion of people that are paying cash, and congratulations to you, especially at this current high interest rate climate. But most people are probably financing it, and they're looking at the monthly payment expenditure. And when they see $600, $700, $800, $900, at one point a Model Y, like a base one, was like $1,200 a month. I mean, I bet some of you out there that are watching can remember those days, but it was definitely a very expensive car that you really had to think deep and hard to actually justify $1,200 a month. But I mean, you really can't at the end of the day. But Tesla really needs to get in the game here to add some demand levers, because if they can subsidize it, I mean, there's already a bunch of companies out there, at least other competitors and loans, that do this. They offer subsidized interest rates. I'm talking like Ford, GMC, and all that stuff. You can get like 1.99 or 2.99. We highlighted that recently, where the Nissan Ariya has like a 2.99 interest rate, of course, for 36 months. And so there's definitely a position here where Tesla could utilize all their cash and subsidize it, maybe pick their battles, pick their choices on which customers would make sense to do that. And so that could certainly make sense. Here's another quote. "We've been providing loans for financing our automotive deliveries in the volume since fiscal year 2022. And then here's another one. "Existing leasing below % of other manufacturers." And so they've actually been testing this, and I can confirm that this is true because we've got some, friends that work for Tesla. And there's a quote right here that says, "Tesla is currently offering zero down lease programs to employees on the Model 3. And so, yes, that is 100% what's actually happening. And that makes sense, right? Because, right now, if you go look at the Tesla Model 3, inventory, there is a lot of Model 3 inventory, and the levels of the Model 3 are on the up and up and up. And so they need to figure out a way, or they need to figure out a strategy on how to clear out all this inventory. And employee lease is potentially a different way of doing that. But the one thing there, of course, is the employees probably know, just like how everybody else, that there's the Project Highland Model 3 refresh that is personally on the the next horizon, but they might not be willing to do that at the end of the day. But, I certainly agree. I certainly feel like Tesla, if they can get more or double down or triple down into the Tesla financing arena, then that will be a great way to promote and get more Tesla vehicles on the road. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. I mean, there's a ton of financing companies out there, including, like, shout out to Tenet for sponsoring some of the videos this month. Tenet allows you to defer a portion of that monthly payment, say that $7,500 federal tax credit, so that you can get a lower monthly payment. So definitely check them out. Link down below in the description. But there's a strategy here where you use Tenet to defer that portion of the loan out, get a low monthly payment, get the tax credit next year, and then pay off Tenet and then refinance the whole thing. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. But I certainly feel like Tesla should double down and get more into the Tesla financing game. But we shall see. But financing Tesla is probably going to get a lot more better, because Tesla is going to try and get way more creative on using this as a strategy. Discounts are going to get old after a while, and probably after a certain point, they're going to not be able to discount even more at a certain level. I mean, taking a look at historical charts of certain vehicles like Model Y, long range has never been cheaper than it's about to be at the current price of, which it is, the Model Y long range, the cheapest it's ever been was 47,000, I want to say, or 48,000. And so if Model Y long range keeps going, I mean, at a certain point there's just a bottom, right? And so the vehicles, the Tesla vehicles and all that stuff, they certainly can't keep going lower and lower. Right now it's 49,990, and the lowest price for the Model Y long range has been 48,990. So is there a bottom? Yes. Is Tesla going to get pushed into certain strategies and ways and creativeness to push more vehicles? I think yes. And that's why I've been saying for a while, the best time to buy is at the end of every quarter. Then that next month is, or the next time that's going to be, is June. And so we're going to see Tesla pull out all the stops and strategies and incentives. I'm talking free supercharging for the Model 3 and the Model Y, option credit discounts, demo discounts. We just talked about how this Model 3 right here on the screen that you're looking in front of you has a $3,530 discount right now. So there's going to be a lot of these. There's going to be pages and pages of these in June. So if you can wait, if you do not need a car, if you don't need a car for your job or anything like that, you can be patient. I would say you might as well but wait. But the flip side to that, like, there's risk with waiting, right? Tesla could increase the price of the vehicles. They've done that in the past. They've dropped, they've done massive price drops like this and then increase it $1,000 or $2,000, recently after that. And also at the same time, interest rates are going to go up, especially with Tesla financing at, the 5.59% it is. And also all the financing partners that are on our Patreon link down below in the description, that list, they've been known to keep raising the rates as well. So 2.99 and 3.7% does exist right now, but that could only exist for maybe the next 30 days, 60 days. So it's a catch-22 at the end of the day. So you need to figure out, are you willing to take that risk to save, another $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 or not? So, definitely take that in for whatever it's worth and ingest that and make a decision and figure out. But we are definitely going to be tracking this day by day. And I would love to see Tesla get into more leasing and financing options to push more vehicles, because I really feel like at the current price, if Tesla rolls out they could go down to like 3.99, because 3.99 doesn't exist, right? That would really help sell a lot more vehicles, or at least 3.99 doesn't exist with like the Chase Banks, Bank Americas, and all these other bigger financing companies out there. But we're going to jump into our next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel and get access to the best Tesla buying guide out there with interest rates as low as 2.99 and 3.7%. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description.